You're a goddamn tease, Selva. You better tell me what I want to know. What monster are you guys looking for the queen, huh? What are you gonna say for yourself?
For honor and glory.
I'll kill you! Hello, my fellow hunters! How are you all enjoying Title Update 4? It has almost been a week of new goodly goodness, and really, my goodness, has this title update not been by far the best. I think Velkhana and Risen Valstrax together are the best new package of monsters we've gotten, both in their fight and certainly in the impact they have had on the game and the sets and the meta. There is some lovely quality of life changes, and everything just feels like it's all building to a very exciting head of steam. Like the kettle about to boil, the anticipation of the tea about to be drunk. That's nice. Anyway, yes, welcome back everybody as we talk title update theory and, well, speculation, but with a healthy tempering in logical deduction, and that makes sense thinking. Also known as, hey, Selva has actually given us some more hints towards the future new monsters, future title updates. How does that connect with what we already know and what we're already thinking? Exactly, Amatsu. Where are you? Who are you? Are you? Well, to answer that, let's first go over what we already know. We had the tease from Monster Hunter with Kagero and Yomogi's origin story. Yomogi being a princess from a kingdom that was destroyed by a monster that's to do with storms and winds and sent mother monsters crazy and generally was a very big bad deal. Everything in that story pointed towards, well, something like Amatsu or even Ibushi or Nawa, except the timeline means it cannot be Rampage-esque or Ibushi-esque, because that's every 50 years, and this all happened when Yomogi was a baby, and I don't know about you, but I don't think she quite looks 50 years old. You want some dango? I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. And bottom line, the heartbreaking tale lines up with Amatsu's playbook, even down to it being called the Great Calamity, which is something specifically Amatsu has been called, along with it being Serpentine, and you get the picture. So that was kinda, ooh, alright, let's have a look to the future then. Maybe we're finally gonna get another go at one of, honestly, the best monsters to have ever been created in Amatsu, and him in the 5th gen with his new advanced reworked moveset looking gorgeous, you know, just, And then we have, of course, Frontier's continued influence on Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and of course there is an exotic Amatsu in Frontier that has a super dragon mode that you could definitely borrow concepts from, and that's a good little bit of groundwork to create a new and enhanced Amatsu. So then we got to Title Update 3, where things got ever so much more interesting, because Paz the Chevalier, as a reward for, you know, big smackdown chaotic style, she tells you a little bit of a secret hint at what the Chevaliers have been up to. And that went along the lines of this. We've been investigating the monster that destroyed Tadori's hometown. You know, the same place that your Kagero and Yomogi come from. So it was at this point the plot, as they say, thickened like a good stew. Now, Title Update 4 then, first and foremost, let's have a look at the new updated roadmap for what is, well, Title Update 5, and presumably the final Title Update. As we can see, we have very specifically returning Elder Dragon. The rest is very not hint-givey, because it's just your normal question mark. Ooh, mysterious. But already that returning Elder Dragon does return us to Amatsu. Because is it just going to be some random Elder Dragon from the past? Like, oh, I guess, cool, it's that guy. No, it's going to be something relevant. This is the big climactic finish, the ending flourish of Sunbreak, the Fatalis level update to send us on our way and to leave such happy memories of our time in Rise and Sunbreak. So obviously making it relevant to the story they're setting up, make it matter to the characters we've got to know and love in both Kimura and Elgato. I mean, thematically it is perfect. So what could it be other than Amatsu, when Amatsu is what they have been subtly and not so subtly paving the road towards? I like that. But at the same time, bloody Chevalier leader over here, Selva, seems to not like that, because we have once again received just the little teasiest tease of what is yet to come, but this time around, it's harder to interpret. He gives you a general, congratulations and all of that stuff in his own Selva way, and then, now, there's one other thing I'd like to inform you of. The Chevaliers have received a top-secret order from Her Majesty the Queen herself. We had to track down and investigate a monster. And it is at this point they were like, oh, it's the next Amatsu hunt. It's from the Queen. Clearly, she wants to prevent perhaps it coming back and destroying their kingdom like it did Yamogi and Kagero's. I see, that makes sense. That's why Elgato cares about it. Okay. And then he goes on. However, the mission is not exactly going what you'd call swimmingly. We have yet to capture it, and it may take a while. Huh. That's... right? Two things, well, actually no, three things of import to dissect here. The first being swimmingly. I don't think that's an accidental word choice. I think that very much paints the picture of a Leviathan, which of course Amatsu is modeled after. Yes, it's an Elder Dragon, but it uses the Leviathan skeleton. Just something to say. It might be nothing, but I certainly think there might be something in that. Secondly, however, we have yet to capture it. This might just be a turn of phrase. It might just be the random wording that they've used. We've yet to corner it. We've yet to locate it. We've yet to capture it. Obviously, capture in Monster Hunter terms has very specific connotations. To literally capture, which is impossible to do to an Elder Dragon. Unless, I guess, you're the commander. No, even then he didn't actually succeed, did he? So unless we are about to pull a commander on Amatsu, the fact they're trying to capture it would mean it's not an Elder Dragon, and if it's not an Elder Dragon, it's not a Amatsu, but if it's not a Amatsu, then how can it be a returning Elder Dragon? The roadmap and this little hint from the Chevalier here is contradictory, to say the least, to the point where it cannot both be a returning Elder Dragon and be capturable. Which then implies one of two things. Either A, it is just random wording and doesn't mean anything too deep. B, there's going to be another new monster coming to Sunbreak, whether a returning one or a new one that isn't an Elder Dragon, but is capturable and is the target of this investigation alongside returning Elder Dragon. And then we look at it may take a while. Historically, when a character has hinted at a future title update, when they've gone for, it'll be a bit, we're nowhere near, maybe soon, that has never, most of the time, meant the literal next title update. It's normally meant to tide you over, in a couple title updates time, we'll get to it, that's fine. And that makes me think back to the little theory that I went over based on this lovely message from Ryozo over New Year's, where he said there is several free title updates for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak in 2023. And as I pointed out then... Oh yeah! Several title updates! I've got you, Ryozo! You didn't think I'd notice, but you let it slip, my friend! Several, by definition, means more than two! And there's only two on the roadmap! So is there gonna be a sixth title update making it more than Iceborne? Oh, I see what you're hinting at! But I mostly dismissed it as, he's just used a random word, just because it means at least more than two, But now I'm starting to think maybe we should give that a little bit more room in the old noggin. Because what if both things are true? What if the returning Elder Dragon is Amatsu, but also the Chevaliers are tracking down a monster that fits with swimmingly that is capturable, and that's to do with an entirely different title update past Amatsu? Or perhaps something different in 5 and then Amatsu is in this theoretical title update 6? Obviously, that's insane. I would be very surprised if they go past 5 title updates like they did in World and Iceborne, as 5 seems to be the established, this is how many a Monster Hunter game gets now, post 5th gen. And of course, we have the release of Sunbreak on consoles and Game Pass to consider, which is happening, well, towards the end of spring, which doesn't give a massive timeline for another title update past 5, unless it either A, just sneaks in before Sunbreak's console release, or releases simultaneously on Sunbreak on consoles, and is a title update that every single platform gets at once and gets to share at once. That would be fun, and I definitely think it's food for thought. Basically, the TLDR here, guys, is that the updated roadmap supports all the Amatsu theorying we have done. However, the new in-game NPC hint supports the idea of another different monster, and perhaps even the idea of another entire title update. And that I find myself thinking endlessly about, and would love your thoughts upon it too. In any case, I am more than satisfied with Sunbreak and its updates, and whatever 5 brings, and when it turns out to probably likely be the last, I am sure we are going to be having a fantastic time with, yes, probably, Amatsu. Either way, let me know, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more, consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.